Greetings and welcome to a recording of Sengoku Dynasty here in early access. This is going to be the Phoenix Rising series, which I called it Phoenix Down in the last video, and when I looked back at the quality of the video that I recorded, oh my goodness, I did not change the settings for the resolution because I was concerned about frames to be the right quality, and I don't like how it looks, and I have to redo it. So if you've seen this before, you saw the video quality before, I think you know what I'm talking about. And now we're gonna change it to the correct settings and see if it works better. Now I'm a little concerned that it may not have the performance that I'm looking for, and it may be a little slow, it may chug around a bit. So we're gonna see how that goes. If it works well, fantastic. Then we're in a good spot, and I'll just continue from there and reboot on this. And hopefully I'll say all the same things that I said in the first episode correctly here. I do like to have a script that I follow, but I don't write out the entire script because I can't remember things for that long is the problem. So I have to go from my just what happens in the moment and rely on those pieces of memory as I go along. So what we're doing here, I'll get you caught up on the storyline before we get to see the opening of this game. And what we're going to do here is we're going to imagine ourselves as a person from the Ikko Ikki rebellion, a person who is of the Ikko Ikki, a general, we'll say middle ranked or middle importance general, who is being told to flee now that the Ikko Ikki is falling and starting to encounter challenges in the face of Oda Nobunaga and his conquest to rule all of Japan. Here we go. This is what so this too, we're playing the actual Sengoku Dynasty game. I'm just adding this little storyline to it. And as you see it, I do just love the imagery. Absolutely love what they did with this. I think they've spent a lot of time really digging into making this beautiful and embracing that style. And I love the ink blots and how it flashes out. And I love that it's all about them fighting back against their samurai retainers who are taking from them, the peasants rising up to rule on their own. The Ikko Ikki faith would have had a space for everyone, and the reason that it was so powerful with people was that anyone and everyone could go to the promised land. So now for this, the formation of the Peasant Kingdom is going to be a big part of our storyline. Interestingly enough, right here, Sasogi is somewhere around here. There's a park related to that, and this is the region where the Ikko Ikki would have had a stronger foothold early on. And I'm going to say that that is where we're from. So, for the start of the game, first off, here we are, just waking up on the shoreline. We've paid to get travel as far away from Oda Nobunaga's forces as possible, and as far away as we can get from our connections to the rest of the Ikko Ikki rebellion. If there's a chance for anyone surviving this, then we need to be far away. We need a chance to begin anew. So we are going to say that our hero was instructed to leave, was forced to leave against his choice. He would have wanted to stay and continue the fight to the end, and that this is where we are. We paid for travel with the fishermen. They took us very far, and the travel was not simple, and we crashed on this shore. And now here we are stuck, far away from home. But a place that we can begin anew and rise again. It looks like performance is doing okay. So I guess I'll say I have to regret that I didn't have my settings higher. You are noticing now that I'm just picking up tons of stones, and that's going to become really relevant in a little bit here. So at the start of the game, you're going to go through stone axes like crazy. And I just want to have a lot of stones on hand for things that I'm going to build. I like to be pre-prepared. As we get to here, we need to find Akko. We've been traveling with Akko. There she is. It's good to know that she's okay. We'll go right to her after we gather a couple things. What are our priorities? Gathering resources, apparently. Alright, Akko, how are you? You're alive. Oh guys, don't move, you were hurt. You'll be alright, you're cold, so let me help out. We'll get a campfire started and a tent to protect you. I'll be right back. So we need to gather stones, which we did. The next step is going to be crafting tools, so we need sticks for that. Now you'll note that there are a number of things around. I may not have found all the little items that are around at the start here, but I've found a lot of the key ones that are useful. There we go. And then we're going to craft an axe. So to craft things, you're going to press Q, and then you go over to stone axe, and when you make it, your first stone axe immediately goes into your first slot. I'm going to go chop down the trees up here. With this, we'll chop down a tree. It does take a while and a lot of chops, but we are using a stone axe, so go figure. It would definitely take a while to chop down a tree with a stone axe. Now to make note of something, when you chop them down, you can either take the bark off using an adze, which we haven't built yet, or if you strike it with an axe, you get sticks, which in the early part of the game, I think the sticks are the best way to go. Alrighty, well, we're supposed to go over there after we chop down our first tree and build some structures for her. But I'll be honest with you, I want a few extra things. We are here, these are gobo plants. These will become very useful soon. So I want to get these. And I'm holding down E to pick up these items. Oh no, I picked up a log that still had bark on it. Not a big deal. Let's just get some of these things set. And then here, let's strike that one to get that down to less, or to get sticks from it and to get a log from it as well. There we go. Was there another log that rolled down here? I don't think so. I think we got it all. We will need some more grasses, so let's take a few grasses. Alrighty, now, we do need to make a hammer. Oops, that's the right click for that. So I'm going to put away my axe, and then we'll press the right click button, which also allows me to open up crafting if I don't have anything in my hand, and I go to wooden hammer. Now to equip that one, I'm going to go in and I can drag that to one of my quick bar slots. And by the way, just, you know, a little tip for early on in development of this game. I don't think it'll be like this in the future. You can use these hotbar slots as a kind of an extra inventory slot. It's a little, maybe not genuine, but oh well, let's go with it. So now to build, I have my hammer out. I'm going to right click and go to basic structures and then click on campfire. And let's build ourselves, or let's build Akko a campfire. We don't want to leave her cold. And now again, we'll right click, we'll go to basic structures, and then we go to tent. And then we're going to put that structure here so it's near the fire, but not in the fire. And with this, we'll be able to keep her safe while we try to go search out and see what's going on in this area. Put away the hammer. I don't want to be talking to you with a hammer out. Are you feeling any better now that you're warmer? Yes. And you have fish. You're going to cook it for us? Thank you. We don't need to move on. We shouldn't spend our lives running. There's fertile land here, trees, fresh water, and no soldiers guarding the common folk. I believe in the legend of the Peasant Kingdom. Well, we just started now. And I do love the fact that our character hints at this Peasant Kingdom. And I love how as you go through the storyline, we're going to kind of discover that we have not actually come to the Peasant Kingdom because, you know, they get a kick out of us saying, oh, it's the Peasant Kingdom, huh? Oh, nice. There. And it almost feels like we are going to be the ones who form the Peasant Kingdom, which I love. And for just the fun side story we're doing here, and obviously the devs have created a great story so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do as they flesh it out completely. My storyline on this just comes from the fact that I've always loved playing Shogun 2 and Shogun 1, actually, way back when I got Shogun Total War from actually a student that I was teaching back when I was a student teacher. And he insisted, you would love this game, you should totally try it and borrow it. And so he let me borrow it, and I was instantly in love with the Shogun Total War. And then that continued into a lot of the other Total War series, and the art style is gorgeous in it. Shogun Total War 2 is fun. It has its great things and not so great things about it, as all games do. But I loved playing as the Ikko Ikki. I loved the idea of the peasants being the power. Greeting, Toshichi. Is this the Peasant Kingdom? Is that where they're calling us? It's not? It sure is now. I like the sounds of it. And I think we deserve it. They shook off their local lords. Now this is great for us. Since, for us, we just crashed here, we're trying to flee from the rebellion. We have helped a number of people rise and do rebellions in mainland Japan. But our strength is fading, our numbers aren't strong enough, and Oda is incredibly good as a leader and knows how to organize people and has been winning constantly. This might be our chance to at least stand our ground, and as he stretches himself too thin. My friend and I almost died in a shipwreck. You were touched by seeing us and helping her out. Well, I want to help out. Is there a council here? Can we rebuild on the ruins? No, but you might be onto something, because this is technically still a village. Walking a fine line. And there's an abbot in the temple. They may have objections, but it's a wild idea. Let's try it. So can I rebuild this place? And we're talking to him about how we get to rebuild. Now we have to handcraft an adds. And that's, I'm pressing Q. I could have pressed right click. And adds is here. This will allow us to make planks out of our logs. But I do want to make note of something, which is that when you tear down these buildings, you're going to get a number of resources, including planks, which is exactly what we need for this first structure. Pardon me, pardon me. Oh, and why did I pick up stones and why did I pick up a lot of sticks? For this reason. We'd be recrafting stone axes constantly. I'll just recraft them as I go. I don't need them to take up tons of inventory slots. It looks like I need more items. We need 20 planks. If I take down these buildings, we accomplish two major goals. One, clean up the village. And two, get planks. We could chop down a bunch of trees and get planks. Yes, for sure. And that will be a thing that we do in time. But for now, we want to get planks easily through this. And it will not take much to do this. Thank you for joining me on this. I'm sorry about having to re-record, and sorry about the quality on the first one, since it was so grainy. I just could not stand watching it and seeing it, and it doesn't matter if the storyline's good, it doesn't matter if I've done a good job of explaining things. The video quality is so bad. So we're just gonna fix that. So Shichi, I'm ready. I have the materials for the bell tower. Let's see, they're rough, but they're using primitive tools. Yeah, and it's all the burned down stuff. But the point is, we want to look at this as us rising from the ashes, and it's okay to use these old materials to build this bell, because we are going to build a village straight from where we came from. Alrighty, using the supplies that may have been burned, but will rise from it. Alrighty, so I have my hammer out. I'm going to right click and I'm going to village structures. The bell is on the left side. I'm going to try to make this central located. Now I'm going to go a little further to the left this time, since last time I don't think I had all of the coast. So we're going to put it right about here. And let's get this in here. We have our logs, we have our planks. It's interesting that he wanted us to have 20 planks when it doesn't take 20 planks to build this. It's all good. We have now founded the village. Let's talk to Toshichi and see what we can do. Take out a building on the way back over. We're going to say, we're now going to build a home, and it's going to talk about us building a home for ourselves, but that's just not what our character would do anyway, and it's not what they have us do in the main story anyway. The tower is rebuilt. Time to build a house. After all the time escaping, seeing my own house burned down by the lords, that's a little, for our storyline here, it's a little bit of a, I want them to think of us as a normal person, not as the general that we are, but it's not untrue. My house would have been burned down by the Lord's forces. My house is gone. So, building here, we can rebuild from the old. So now it's time to build that simple, small house. Alright, we now have a new building that we can craft. And it's going to be important for us to build it quick, since that allows us to advance the storyline and also get ourselves building structures that are important to us. And again, that whole idea of just having lots of stones and sticks on hand, for sure. It's this whole idea right here. Just getting all these resources. Now these chests give us sticks and planks, and the buckets give us planks, which is handy. Well, interesting. That one gave me sticks, but I've seen other ones give me planks. So it seems like some are kind of a mixed bag of things they give you. Now this is a little structure that will give us a few planks, which is good. We are going to need planks for building our homes. I say plural homes because we will need one for us and one for Akko. And we're also planning on rebuilding this whole village, so we do have a long ways to go. I think we may want to slow down here on taking things apart, just because I want to make sure that you're seeing some of the advancing portions of this. But I do want to get rid of some of these basic items, because they do give us quick planks for only 2 chops. and 2 chops for 2 planks is a great thing. I do also want to make note, I came over here for a very good reason. This is where you'll find a large collection of straw, and that straw is incredibly handy early on. There we are. With that, let's head back over. We'll finish this part out over here, and that should give us more than enough planks to work with. It will not give us enough logs, but we will have plenty of logs to work with. Ooh, I just can't leave this sit here. But I do need to slow myself down and get rolling. To build this first house is to start ourselves out here and to commit to living in this region, and that is what we want to do. I believe, I know I have a plan, by the way, for where I want the Hunter's Lodge. I do love this region for the Hunter's Lodge, and I happen to really like this space. Oops, we're going to press Q to craft since right now I have a hammer out. I want the stone pickaxe. The reason for the stone pickaxe is that this stone is going to say it's in the way, and I want to move it. Actually, I want to remove it so that we can build in this area. We will need more sticks, so it's okay to get that. And now I think that we can build our house right here. So right click, village structures. Oh, I'm sorry. Down at the bottom is buildings. Silly. And then go to the top. I can only build small houses. Alrighty, let's see here. Is that about where we want to be? We want to get as tight out to there as possible. Boom. One of the best things that one of the things I love the most about what the devs have done in this game is that they allow you to move a building after it's been built. That, to me, is just, I really enjoy it. I like, oh, there it goes again. I really love the fact that you can just take and rebuild, and that the emphasis on the game really is about, hey, you want to make a beautiful village in Japanese styling? Yes, that is what you can do here. And so you can just say, hey, I didn't like where I placed that. I'm going to move it. And I know in Medieval Dynasty you can't do that, and it's, you know, it's fine. It does make sense, right? Like, you're not just going to straight up pick up a building and move it. But I'm also not pulling stumps out of the ground with a shovel. So it's kind of give or take. It's all good. And it's good in every way that it can be in their own ways, right? Now I just gained a skill point, so let's talk about that. We go to Legend, and I just got Craftsman. So when we go here, we have options. Now right now there's only a small amount of skills, so this isn't really fleshed out yet. I'm looking forward to them. I'm hoping they add more, so that's kind of like small increments as you go, so that they feel more like you're building up, and not that you're using 1 point for one major thing that suddenly changes a lot. I don't know. We'll see. But I know they have great future plans. So Lumberjack, I think, is the best one. Efficient Craftsman, everything is 1 second for crafting currently in the game, so I'm not worried about that yet. But chopping down trees, yeah, it's a big deal. So I clicked on it and I held down the E key, and that got me Lumberjack, which in theory should allow me to craft quicker. Or sorry, chop down trees quicker, my fault. Crafting quicker, I'm not worried about. By the way, you can change these things. Modify allows you to change the type of boards that you're using. We don't have any other kind of boards yet. Changing allows you to change the style here, and we're going to keep it simple for now, but you can definitely customize your homes and make them look unique. I did a video where I looked into the new furniture features in the game, which I really enjoyed what they added to the farming and furniture portion. Unfortunately, later in my video, I appreciate people pointing out that, or a person pointing out that it gets a little dark at the end there, and yeah, I'm sorry about that. It turned into night way too quick, and I needed to get somewhere, and I wanted to finish the video, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go into the night, and hopefully it's not too dark. It was way too dark. I really shouldn't have. I just should have understood that it was too dark. So sorry about how dark that was. Alrighty, we're gonna tear down these buildings because it serves 2 purposes. It gets us our planks, and it gets us our village cleared out. It's 3 planks per, which is the same as a log. We are going to need to chop down more trees for logs because we still have to build the roof. Now you will note that there are bars on the lower left, and I do want to make sure I go over what they are just because now it's kind of relevant. You're going to see why it's important to keep your food meter up. So the very top bar with the little chicken leg or drumstick icon or turkey leg icon, it is green in color. If colors are tricky to see, then it is just the top one on the lower left with the turkey leg or chicken leg icon. That is your food meter, your hunger level. When that goes lower, it changes how fast your stamina regenerates. So right now my stamina regeneration is decently fast, but not fast. It's not quick. if I was to eat and have my meter at full, it would recharge really quickly. Okay, we're starting to get to the end of the day here. And I want to have a very productive first day. So I want to make sure that we get this done. I want to make sure we have our first house down and set. And I also want to get the first major structures that I think are vital up and running. And that is the woodworker's hut and a wood storage. So these are getting us planks, which is great. It's 2 chops and it's 1 plank. We will use those planks. I'll take you through the basic construction of the first few structures so that our day 1 is just incredibly productive. After fleeing for so long and having people on his tail, he would want to get things going quick. And it would be a hurry to we need somewhere to settle after so much traveling. Think about just wanting to be done and having a place to slow down and just be. And to start anew. Making the roof, we'll need a number of things. Looks like we're 1 log short. Not bad. Not bad at all. We have a lot of planks. That's going to serve us very well. Let's see here. Which tree doesn't feel like it's necessary? And the burn tree is not going to give us what we need, but it's okay. Oh, I thought that was an actual tree. Nope. We go for you. That's the one we go for. There's a number of little buildings around the area. Some of them we're going to interact with in quest lines. Some of them are just a piece of the area. There we go. Now, getting all of the resources that we need for building our next 2 major structures will take us a little time. I will clear out the debris from the village in the night. Our hero would not rest until this place is ready for the people. Oh yes, that's right. We are also going to need firewood. I think it'd be okay. I think we only get a small amount of firewood from these. Sticks and firewood, that is 2 firewood. No, it was only +1. We just already had 1 firewood. We'll do that. Now we have 3 firewood. I believe that'll do it for us. You can also get firewood from chopping a log. But this early on, I need the logs for other things. Ooh, I do need 1 more firewood. Once we get our woodworking station, we're going to get a lot more firewood for all of our base resources. So chopping down logs with your axe, you get firewood out of it, but you get half as much as you would of, oops, not a wooden torch, wooden hammer. There we go. We needed the straw for that, 2 more planks, and 1 more firewood. I like that tree. That's the problem. I have this problem where I like some of the decorations in the area. So I'm going to drop that. We'll chop it, and we'll get 2 firewood. Oh, even less than I was originally saying. Boom. There we go. Now we talk to Toshichi. And now we need to get a little more speed in our step here, because I really do want to build that woodworker's hut and the wood storage area. But I got to get Akko here. Alright, I built a house. It's impressive. Congratulations. You need a forger hut and a woodcutting hut. This is just the beginning. I want a place for everyone. This is where our character gets a little hopeful and a little over-energetic, because now he's talking about getting wanderers from everyone. Everyone should be able to be here. And Toshichi is saying, slow down. People may not be ready for all this so fast. Will I convince you? Can I convince others? It won't be easy, but you'll have to. You don't want to scare people with that vision of yours. And then he's going to tell us about some characters. Kengoyo, the warrior, fancies himself a protector. He has no lineage. He's one of us. Well respected by some, hated by others. Interesting. Not sure what he's up to. Miko is a priestess in charge of local shrines, and she's a gentle woman to read about the divines, and the fact that the people aren't honoring the spirits, and the impure. And Eda from Segi. He lives between the earth and the divine. He has to do the things that people don't want to have to do. And thank you for letting me know, and we'll look into them. That'll be our day 2 thing. Uh-oh, I was about to start building buildings, but no. Our character can't leave Akko sitting over here. That has to be priority 1. We're going to bring Akko into the village. She has a home now. And from there, we're going to expand. And here's one of the people who brought us here. Trapped just like we are. Oh, and there's a cat saying hi to y'all. Alrighty, so let's go over to Akko, and I'll show you some of the things you can do with moving structures. So let's start out by saying hi to Akko. Carry good news, the village is reborn. Let's head there. So now to do the Dynasty tab, I press N, and now here I am in Dynasty, and then I'm going to go to Population. And here's Akko. I click on her, and I click on Assign Home. Click on Player Village 1. We haven't named it yet. We'll name it later. Small house and sleeping mat. And now she has a home. We can do a job later. The campfire, before we go anywhere, I'm going to cook. I'm going to cook some of the gobo. 10 of them. So I pressed F to craft more, and I selected 10 so we can craft 10 of them. And I did this, it requires nothing but the gobo, so we're cooking the gobo root. From here, I'm going to demolish this campfire, since we don't really need it anymore. And then for this, the tent, we may need this, so I'm going to press T to move it. And you'll notice that big blue column of light in the far distance. And that is the column that shows the borders of our village from the bell. I do find that this is a great addition from the way it was originally. You didn't see the borders, you just kind of had to figure out where the boundaries were. I had an entertaining time with that when I was building some farmland in my very first large village. Now it's nice to be able to see the borders. I really appreciate that. The reason we're moving the tent into town is that I don't think our hero is going to finish his house before the end of the night. And he would not impose on Akko. He would simply put out the tent and use that as his space to sleep. And we'll have to put some rocks out so we can sleep there. It's time to build some buildings. We go to buildings and it's production time. Woodcutter's hut. Now, I feel like I've done this 100 times. We're going to put it by the road, not far from the road, near the grasses. Right about there by the wineberries. And then next thing we're also going to need, oh apologies, right clicking, going down to buildings, and then we're going to go storage, because if you're going to have wood, you'll need a place to store this wood. I don't want to get in the way of that, so what we're going to do is, it turns out that I placed this a little silly. It got in the way of this tree. Alrighty, there we go. And now, right click, storages, and then the woodcutter's hut, or the wood storage. Put it right about there. And with this you can do some changing. I do want to get my logs going. Alright, with that it's time to go harvest some lumber. We're going to chop, oh right, hold on. In my inventory I'm going to click on my gobo and I'm going to eat a bunch of them. There we are. Now my green bar, my health bar, the top left, the top one on the bottom left, is now all the way charged. And that means my stamina recovery, when you watch, look how fast that goes back up. I do enjoy that mechanic because it gives you a reason to care about eating, and it's not just a, oh, I have to eat again just so I don't, you know, lose health or insta-die. It is more like a, hey, if you're not feeding your character, it's going to take you more time to do things, which makes sense. Your energy would be low if you hadn't eaten, so it seems like it makes sense. Oops. And we're getting logs. Now the whole, what we're doing here is just getting as many logs as I can. And I'm going to finish the woodworking station first. And the reason for that is because then I can have the woodworking station. And as soon as I can have the woodworking station, I can get logs turned into planks, logs turned into firewood much more efficiently. And I find that to be the biggest deal. Since I want resources, right? I want to maximize what I get out of what I chop down. If I'm taking these trees down and I'm taking resources from them, I'd like to get as much out of them as possible. Maximum efficiency, maximum gain. I'll chop this down. Another axe down. Oop, and now we're full. That's okay, because we do have a lot of building we can do. More gobo. And we have our quests that are showing up now, which is fantastic. So from here, we'll put the logs down. Now planks, I need a few more planks. It would be so handy if I could just clear those buildings out and get the planks so that we can use all of the starting buildings as a means to advance. Oh, did I not actually make my axe yet? There we go. Maybe I tried to make the axe, but I had a full inventory. So many sticks. There we go. 4 planks, we have 15. That should set us up pretty well. And it is fun to think about the Phoenix Down idea, the idea of rising from a phoenix that fell and rebuilding anew better than before. The whole rebirth storyline, of course, which is classic in a lot of different storylines, both folk tradition and written tradition, and it's fun. In the original spelling of it, I spelled it F-E-N-I-X, like Phoenix Down from Final Fantasy III. That would be the Final Fantasy III American release. Final Fantasy VI release in Japan. And by the way, some of these things when you build, like this is a doorway. This doorway is just an empty space. You knock it with a hammer and you're done. So I have a bias here. I happen to like, oh, sorry, I'm going to modify this. Let's check out a modify. I love that style. I like that style. No, I don't like that style. I lied. It's this one. Oh, do I love it. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's going to cost us one extra plank. I can't modify this one, but we're going to modify these out. I just want a little personality here. I like it. It will cost us some planks, and yeah, maybe you didn't need to do that. But it's, you know, we've built all these buildings so far. We haven't personalized any of them quite yet. It'll be okay. We'll personalize one of them. With that, do we have any planks? We don't even have any planks. We don't have any logs. We gotta go back out here, grab the ones that fell, and get back into this. I am happy to see that the performance seems to be doing okay. I'm glad that it's not chugging along. I thought this would be chugging along and being a real problem. I'll have to check in post-production to see if it's actually, you know, working properly. I really hope it's not chugging along, because otherwise it's going to be a sad state of affairs. Sorry for so many re-releases of this video. I am rather new to this, and I'm grateful for having you all on this journey with me, and I've very much enjoyed it. I've been gaming my entire life since I was a kid, and if you wanna get a little hint at how far back I go gaming, the very first machine that I played on was a Tandy 4000, and that's a long time ago. And first game system that we owned, it would have been a 286 processor, and that would have been a PC. Commander Keen, by the way, my first game that I got. My brother got Duke Nukem, I got Commander Keen, and it was my favorite game for a very long time. So I just dropped the log by holding down T. I'm taking out the adds, and I'll click on it, and there we go. I get 3 planks. It's something. It's what we need. There we go. Oh, we have to build the roof before we can move on. And we'll need 8 of these, so I'll show you that process real quick. Alrighty. With this, we'll have our logs. We need 8 planks, which means if it's 3 per log, we're going to have to drop 3 and get them. So hold down T, hold down T, hold down T. I've dropped 3. When I click on my adds, if I have them lined up and I click, I get all the planks at once. Super convenient. Let's finish this up, and we'll be set. This station is the next priority. Oh, and we're going to have to do 1 more log. So hold down T, and take our adds, and there we are. Now we just need 3 planks. Boom. Now we're going to have to craft this one. By the way, it's going to take planks, right? It's going to take 4 planks. Well, here we go. Let's go over to this carpentry station. Click on planks on the right. This is a coniferous that I've got my boards from. I'll click on it 1 time just to show you. 6 planks. That's twice as much we were going to get from the adds. Yes, please. Now this building is complete. And now we're going to go in here. We'll press F to craft more. And we'll max out planks from this one. We're about to run into a quick barrier, which is that we don't have any more logs. Let's go get some more logs. We're going to run into another barrier, which is that this structure requires bamboo. So I'm going to take you up this way, up the trail. It is getting to be the end of the day. We do want to clear out this area for the people. We don't need reminders of what happened here before. We need reminders of where we're going. We'll take some reminders of where things were, and we'll keep certain structures. Well, we are going to end up keeping the gallows, which you'll hear more about later. Partly it's because there is no option to take it down, but also I do think that the people would find that to be symbolically important. That a person died here, and they're a hero of the people, and we cannot lose our vision of what happened here. So it makes sense. Now I'm chopping down bamboo. These small trees can be chopped down with the simple stone axe. Later on, there's going to be larger bamboo trees that we're going to find in the area, which are going to be chopped down with iron. And that's when we start getting technology, and we start really getting somewhere with the game. And we won't see that for a little while. We still have to finish the introductory quests, and we still have to get some more of our village going. And you're going to notice that dynasty points becomes a part of the game. Dynasty points are similar to what you do in Medieval Dynasty in the sense that they're related to what you can do. So in this case, the dynasty points are gotten from doing major projects that give a reflection on how well you've impacted the area. Another axe down. And yes, I'm gathering way more bamboo than needed, but I'm over here. And that's going to be a quest that we'll do tomorrow. Over there, you'll see that there was the exclamation point. It's starting to get dark, which means we have to wrap this up. Because it's way too hard to see what's going on. And I don't want you staring at a dark screen. My off-camera work that I'll do, just so you're aware, is going to be just finishing any structures that I somehow didn't get done. Depending upon how things go here, depending upon how much we can get done in this time frame, our character will work tirelessly through the night to clear out the village as best he can, finishing up in the morning when he wakes up. And if I can get him a house before the end of the day, we will build a house before it gets too late. But if it starts to get too late, then we will say that of course he'd need rest. He doesn't show up on this island after riding a boat in treacherous weather and not need rest. That would not make a whole lot of sense. And when it starts to rain, not a great night to have no house. Here we are. Our wood storage. Put the logs in it. There we are. Now we need planks. We've done a good job of building a bunch of planks up, so we're in a good space for finishing this part out. And then you'll discover that we need a lot of bamboo. Now, I want some walkways here, so I'm pressing E to change it so that I have 2 walkways up and in. That'll cost us some bamboo. And the other ones I can leave open, so just hammer them. This is the actual main entrance to the thing, so we get 3 on this side. And we'll change this. We need some ways to get up and into it on the other areas too. We did harvest a bunch of bamboo that we can make use of. I kind of like the idea of having it on this side. Why? Don't know. Just thought it looked good at the time. And here we go. Finish these out. This won't be the entrance side. There we go. And now we just need to finish the roof out of this thing. And we just need to find a place that we can strike it. Alright, it looks like it's going to burn us out of most of our bamboo. I hope we have just enough to finish another structure I wanted to show y'all. Alrighty. We'll need another hammer. And we'll need more planks. I don't know as we have enough logs right now. Yeah, we do. Oh, yeah, we have just enough. We can use the planks anyway, so we'll max out here. Boing. Jump up there. Oh no, we needed more bamboo. I was looking at the numbers wrong. The amount that I had in the parentheses versus the outside. Apologies, I didn't gather quite enough bamboo, it turns out. So we'll go back up into here. The day is getting late, so I think we're going to have no choice but to close out and have our character rest in the tent for the night. I'll finish clearing the trees out. I don't think that that's a thing that people want to watch happen. So, not that exciting. We'll start quest lining tomorrow as quickly as possible. I want to get those 3 quests done in a day. And then hopefully finish the bridge project. Or I should say not finish. Well, yeah, I think it can be done. I'll have to redo my second video that I'd already recorded, since the video quality is a big deal. And I do want to make sure it's right. Another axe down. So many axes down. I'm looking forward to having the better technology as we go up in our advancement. So I do believe that by the end of day 2 we can have all 3 quest lines done. We can have the bridge project assigned and ready. We can have a house for the next villager, I'd say for ourselves, but I do know that the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to build another house for another person. We will build a house for ourselves in due time. Do need a house, right? And then we'll finish up the quest lines that take us further. Alrighty, the bamboo to finish this out. There we are. Oh, right. 6 logs. That's a lot. 6 logs is a lot. That'll take us 2 trees. 2 trees. Alright, so let's get our 6 logs. This will give us a little extra. And then we'll be able to finish these structures. At this point, we're getting deep into the night, so it is certainly not going to happen that we'll be able to finish our own house tonight. That'll be a plan for tomorrow. And between that and our quest lines, tomorrow's going to be a busy day. I better be sure that I have many, many, many trees taken down. Large stones can be mined with steel pickaxes better. Steel pickaxes come way later. You can get steel as you go, and the steel definitely is much more useful and definitely takes a long time to degrade, which is really beneficial. And that's obviously the thing you're getting out of it, is time to degrade. It also comes with the benefit that it takes less chops for each thing that you're trying to do. So for example, chopping down a tree like this takes, I believe, 2 less chops for steel, 1 less chop for iron. I'm not convinced that the lumberjack trait actually does anything as of yet, but I'm sure it will in time. Alrighty, we need to drop this pile of logs in here, and then I'll drop some items into it so you can see how this works out. The health bar is high, our food bar is lowered now, so our stamina regen is lower. There we go. Now I can just click and hold down E, and everything that can be transferred over gets transferred over, which is handy, because then I can just say, I need the logs. I don't need the other stuff. Well, yeah, I do. I will need these sticks. So all the things that could have been stored here are thrown over. I'm going to take the bamboo, because I do want to show a thing. The grass is at 12. The next structure I want to build, I have my hammer out. I'm going to press, I'm going to right click. I'm going to go into village structures and go into farming. And I want to build a drying rack. And I'm telling you to build this drying rack right off the bat just because, there we go, click there. What it does is it allows you to get straw quickly. And this is something that will just constantly come up as you're playing. So I would suggest build a drying rack right away. Why not? If you have the bamboo on hand, please do. And then hold down E to drop grasses into it, and you'll see that these grasses turn into straws quickly. I do get a kick out of the fact that it sounds like they're on fire. Oops. With that, we have done it. We've gotten to the end of the day. We have done a lot in a day. It's gotta be exhausting. I see these 2 burned down trees here, and our hero cannot rest until we at least get this finished up. Since this is the spot where the next house will be, we'll lay out our floor plan, and then we'll rest and have the day be done. Right-clicking, buildings, housing, small simple house. Let's walk over and line it up with that house a little bit and put it at a slight angle. There we go. More burned down trees. We can't have these stand. They represent the past. They represent the horrors that these people had to endure, and we are focused on the rebirth and the rebuilding from here, not where they were. And there we have it. Alright, we'll put down these logs. We won't have enough, and we'll have to get more. Thank you for joining me. I'm grateful for you being a part of this journey. Thanks for your patience and the fact that I've definitely had to do some reworking on the videos. And thank you for being a part of this. I hope you have a wonderful day.